It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. And make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them the BSJ sent you. For my folk out there in TV land today, if you want to leave your questions or comments during today's program, by all means, please do so, and we will throw them up on the screen. I will do one thing I do want to add. If you leave a question, or while we value all questions and comments, if you leave a question or comment that is indignant or ignorant, we will not be showing that up here on the screen because we don't do that there. We don't do that here. You had to take that to the conference center, because that's not what we do here. All right. Okay. And with that being said, we got my man. Oh, okay. He finally decided to join us.
Hey.
With that being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from the NYC, aka Rucker Park.
Right.
Brother Rich. Oh, Nipsey Hussle, what's happening? Holla at your boy.
It's always good to be on the program. You know, I know that our nephew was late because he's always busy chasing the stats. So I know.
He had to clean up the garage jersey.
Absolutely. And on the other side of the ledger, we got my man from up north, Joey James, aka Double J. Look at the montage.
That's right. Famous Joe.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm about to say your lines.
Well, just again, beautiful event put on by NASCAR there in Bro Rich's neck of the woods.
Oh, absolutely.
At the Coliseum, loved it. Actually, looking at the Vegas stuff right now, might book my ticket myself. So we'll see.
And then of course we got my arch nemesis, the world's #1 antagonist, TJ, aka who you speaking for today? Shadow Man.
Hey.
Yeah.
Today I'm
the first part
of that Curious Levert. You feel me?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. Did you see that one part of that clip? The Brown had his hand up, he explaining to the ref, why you ain't call a foul? But anyway, last but not least, we got my man Jay Wilkinson, aka DOC, to the Dizoc. Doc, what it do? What up, Doc?
What's happening?
Okay, Doc, you legit now. They gave you a little intro. Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
hey, TJ, what happened to your helmet? We can't wear your helmet this week. Oh, you got a haircut. Oh, okay, it's all good. All right, let's get into the whole situation. Yeah. I'm sure everybody, the whole world knows by now the situation surrounding Brian Flores, former Miami Dolphins head coach, the Giants, the Maras, the NFL, and everybody else you want to include into that. So I want to read a few things. I'm calling this, it's all, of course, surrounding the Rooney Rule, quote unquote, but I'm calling it the token rule because that's what this looks like to me right about now, even though we've been saying this for quite some time. It's not, new or breaking news, so to speak. But let me read to you all a few of the items that I've managed to gather, or some sort of timeline of sorts, if you would, and then I'll let you all weigh in. I'll give your thoughts. There's a lot of stuff actually surrounding this, but the few pieces I gathered, the text that Bill Belichick sent to Flores, congratulating him on getting a job with the Giants, I believe. Bill thought it was Brian Daboll, excuse me. And then Flores was like, wait a minute, what you mean? Congratulations. I ain't even went to the interview yet, or something to that effect. Okay. Matter of fact, this was 3 days before the interview, if I'm correct, on that. Excuse me. And then to be more accurate, bear with me here. I need to get to my phone. because I sent this to Brother Rich and Double J in the thread. Let me give you, this part of the timeline is a little bit more detailed. Okay, I'll give you the date or the day and month, of course, in and surrounding the Flores situation in particular. January the 11th, Giants co-director of player personnel Tim McDonald texted Flores, and then they spoke by phone. McDonald said the Giants and co-owner John Mara were extremely, and it's in quotes, interested in hiring Flores as head coach. The same day, January 11th, McDonald texted Flores again about the GM assistant or / assistant candidates. McDonald suggested that Brian Daboll, might be interested in leaving Buffalo to be Flores' OC because Daboll wasn't happy with Bills coach Sean McDermott. McDonald let Flores know Mara would reach out directly to express his interest. January 12th, Flores and Mara had a positive conversation about his head coach candidacy. January 18th, Flores and Mara had a follow-up Zoom meeting. January 23rd, new Giants GM Joe Schoen, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Schoen, started the process of scheduling an interview with Flores. The same day, January 23rd, McDonald told Flores that he hoped Flores would come in and win the theme job. January 24th, Schoen finalized the interview date with Flores. The same day, January 24th, Belichick, as I aforementioned, or as I mentioned, texted Flores, congrats, thinking it was Daboll. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry. Belichick said, I hear from Buffalo in NYG, New York Giants, that you are their guy. January 26th, Flores had dinner with Schoen. January 27th, Flores interviewed with the Giants. January 28th, the Giants hired Daboll. Now, in the aftermath of such, are you all familiar with Kimberly Diemert, if I'm pronouncing that correctly? Diemert? Anybody familiar with her?
No.
Okay. She sent out a tweet congratulating Brian Flores for his bravery. And she said, we have records that will help your case. The NFL and the commission knew about this situation and covered it up. And they did this with the Browns. Said paid Brown, DePodesta, and Barry bonus money, along with Hugh Jackson, to tank for 2016-2017. And Hugh Jackson, now he's since backed off some of his comments, said at the time, I stand with Brian Flores, and I can back up every word. TJ, what say you to the token rule?
The Rooney Rule?
The token rule, yeah, the Rooney Rule, right.
Did you come up with token?
Yeah, I did. What you mean? Did I come? You want me to pass?
I'm just saying, did you come up with token?
No, I didn't come up with token, but I used it in this instance. I came up with it.
Well, change it back to Rooney Rule, okay? We like that better, okay?
Who is we? Oh, now you French? Mansour. Could you just answer the question, man, so we can get to everybody? Because I have a few more things to read, but I like what you said there, right? Did you the Rick and Rule?
It's the Rooney Rule.
Okay, what'd you say? Sorry.
Okay, we starting off the day right. All right, anyway. I think they don't understand, like, we got 70% black NFL players, right?
Okay.
And we got one head coach that's black. It don't make sense. I wish I could sit down and talk to the commissioner and every owner and let them know how stupid that is. That we got a league full of black people, black young men, and we have no representation on the management level and on the coach level. Come on, man. That ain't. I feel like it's a laugh and it's funny at this point.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely facetious. Before I come to anybody else, let me just add a few other things here. A former player I talked to, said that players are salty to find out they were adversely affected by management's decision to tank. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar weighed in. He said he had one question for Flores, Brian, that is, what took so long? Brother Rich, what say you about the whole Rooney tokenism rule?
Well, I mean, again, there's a saying: when a person tells you who they are the first time, believe them. The NFL has
Absolutely.
told us who they were a long time ago. This is not surprising. This is not a surprise. If you sat down, TJ, with every NFL owner and showed them the folly of having a league that is percentage-wise predominantly African American males, and none of them are able to elevate into positions of management within the franchises that they support and build year in and year out. If you ask them to examine that kind of ridiculousness, they would know that. They know that's going on. That's the way they want it to be. The NFL is absolutely the epitome of the good old boys network. We understand
Absolutely.
it. This is the league that an owner has told us that they see us as prisoners. They see us as merchandise. They see us as people to be not respected.
Commodity.
Seriously, to be taken and looked upon as commodities. Why are we surprised that these people continue to treat us the way they've been treating us ever since we landed on the shores of North America? This is how we've been treated this is how they treat us in law. This is how we're being treated
every aspect,
in every element. So in the gladiator realm, it is no wonder that the gladiators are treated like the cattle that the owners see them as. Let's be real. That's what it is.
Absolutely. I'm getting feedback from somebody. Somebody got a TV or something on. I can hear that. I need everybody to check check your volumes or whatever the case may be. Because when somebody's speaking, I can hear that and them, and I can't hear the person speaking, excuse me, clearly enough. Okay, that's better. Doc, go ahead, weigh in.
All right. I just got one question. How many coaches are selling jerseys?
Oh, that's a good one.
How many coaches are selling jerseys?
Okay.
That's exactly. So why will we need a black head coach when we got black people doing everything we need them to do? They come into the games. They get in the they coming to see you play, not coach. They'd rather have them with one hand on the steering wheel instead of saying, "All right, here you go ahead and take both and take over this team."
Okay. All right. Good stuff there. Double J, what say you?
Well, there's a few things. Remember, this is the same league that, as of 12 months ago, had to reverse a rule that said that, for lack of a better term, just to paraphrase it, the intelligence of African Americans was not equal to that of
race
other races.
Or race baiting. Yeah,
correct. So, just understanding that was now changed again within the past 12 months already gives you a large premise and a good lens to view this from. Taking that a step further now, while African Americans do, from a head coaching standpoint, do get fired at the same rate as their counterparts, the fact of the matter is, as Doc pointed out, we're arguing about the wrong thing here. What bothers me, first on Brian Flores' behalf, is that, as Kareem pointed out, he decided to speak up when it was obviously working against him, not while he was actually employed with Miami at the time, which would have been the most appropriate time to do it. Additionally, when we talk about this particular league and some of the issues that they've gone through, let's take a look at where the majority of these coaches are coming from right now. Most of them are from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. Now, where did that originate from? Not just from his dad, but more importantly, from the Washington football team or Commanders or whatever they're called now.
Hold that thought, because you just brought something up. I'm reading, and I can't think of the source right here. It might have been the New York Post, that the information, Daniel Snyder, he has the last say so on whether or not, that investigation that they did with Washington, whether or not if that stuff is brought to light. In other words, the people can't see, or the courts, or nobody can see anything unless Daniel Snyder releases it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
That's correct. So, yeah, he would have final say because, again, he is the owner of the team.
Got you.
And so that is really, again, where we should be aiming our sights here. Because, again, this is also the same league and the same team, for that matter, that is dealing with a different minority lawsuit. And that is with the how the treatment and the culture within the Washington football team, which again is there's even new allegations as of last week. So when you understand that half the league at this point came really from two teams, in taking that a step further, when you look at, if you were to extend that and realize that, even Robert Saleh came from college at Central Michigan, where, Matt LaFleur was with him as well. Again,
talking
you can
about coaching
see
trees, right?
that's right.
Yeah.
And that's where the majority of these folks are all coming from. Hence why someone like Jim Harbaugh was still very, I guess, overly optimistic when he went to Minnesota. And let's keep in mind, too, he had a lot of issues with the 49ers GM in the past, before it became John Lynch and that type of stuff, before that regime change. So I was a little surprised that he was that enthusiastic to potentially go over there. But again, just kind of, that shows the type of mindset and dare I say almost arrogance that, hey, if you're getting that call, it's pretty much a sure thing. And obviously that was on full display with text from guys that look, let's be honest here. If you work for General Motors or, versus Ford, there's no way that if you're interviewing for the opposing company that you should get a text from someone who does not work there congratulating you.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, wow.
But two things, I think, y'all said Kareem said he was a little too late for his response, like him.
Yeah, Kareem asked. He said, "What took so long?"
I think he was right on time because, for one, that was his first head coaching job, so he probably felt like, all right, let me secure my bag, make sure I get paid my money.
Okay,
but do you see that at that point you're a part of the problem, in my opinion, because you were cool with it as long as you were, you were.
I don't think he wasn't cool because he said he ain't no way I'm doing that. Remember, he asked him, like, for every loss you get, I'll give you 100,000. He said, no, ain't no way I'm doing that.
Well,
so
right,
he wasn't part of the problem. He was like, sure, maybe I could work around management and ownership, and that's what got him kicked out ultimately. Like,
he bring up that's a fair point though. That is
and
a fair
then
point.
you got to think about it. So the second time it happened with Belichick, soon that happened, he like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna say something about it. So I think he was right on time with it.
I'll say this: what it does point to is the problem. Unfortunately for fans, this is the part that's going to hurt a lot. Which is that the fact of the matter is this is a league that is based on two things: parity and rewarding failure. And so, unfortunately, because of those two things, it really is intended to prevent sustained success. So if you are one of those franchises that has earned that, and proven that year in and year out, i.e. Mike Tomlin, then, you're one of the fortunate few. But for everybody else, it is intentional for you to trip over your own feet at some point or just run into a salary issue and then have to kind of start over again. And so with that being said,
a chance to start over.
Well, correct. But even then, now you're talking about years of your life waiting. And then you can see how now you're finally getting a glimpse of how these organizations operate. Lions fans especially, right? How many years? Oh my gosh, were they also complicit in incentivizing coaches to underperform, essentially?
Of course they were.
So
I believe that to a certain extent.
That's
and if you want
when
to
you look at Washington with somebody like a Jay Gruden, who was there virtually forever, when he could have got fired from half the league during that same tenure, based on performance alone. That is finally, unfortunately, lifting the curtain to reveal the Wizard of Oz, and you're realizing that this is unfortunately not really what you had hoped for. That's why you're not supposed to meet your idols, right?
Hey, but the NFL they can't get out from up under this one.
Absolutely,
they can't. Yeah, they can't get out from up under this one. But let me throw this at and everybody can get a chance to weigh in on this. But Brother Rich, do you think Bill Belichick did that intentionally?
No, I do not. I think that he made a sincere mistake where you text somebody and you think I'm texting. He probably looked at it real quick, Brian. You probably, he got him stored on his phone, and he's saying, "Man, I'm hitting my man, letting him know." Oh, and then he realized, "Oh man, and he got, but it's too late now. It's out here doing this kind of thing." Absolutely not. I don't think that he did it intentionally. And again, that proves, because of who Belichick is in the NFL, that again shows you it's a good old boy network. And to Double J's point, one of the points you made earlier that I would counter is this. If it's a coaching tree thing, if you get good jobs because of coaching trees, how come Eric Bieniemy still hasn't had a job? And they won the Super Bowl, and he's been performative as a coach, performed at a high level. He still hadn't gotten a job. He gets clown interviews where he knows he's not going to get hired, and he's back in Kansas City every year. So the coaching tree argument suffices, except that it only seems to work with white coaches. Only white coaches who are subordinate to a Belichick or this one, they get the genius label. They get this label.
Yeah, right.
A coach like Eric Bieniemy, who comes out of nowhere, relatively speaking, a few years ago, and everybody finds out he's on the sideline in Kansas City, and they got this fabulous offense, and he's doing things with this young quarterback. He doesn't get a good look. See at a Miami or New Jersey or some of these teams that are out there.
But let me tell you why I asked that though, Brother Rich, about whether you think Belichick did or not. Now, some people might not see the correlation in this, but you know me, I'm always reading something. Did you know? Am I the only person? I mean, Bill Belichick is not in the NFL coaches union. He's the only coach not in the union. And you know, he's the only coach not in.
I didn't know
they had a union.
Yeah, they do. They got a union. But here's the killer part. Though Belichick, you all got to go look some stuff up, man. He's had his contentious moments, if I can say it that way, with the NFL as well. Maybe not to the degree of Al Davis and the Raiders. You know, that's the NFL and Al Davis and the Raiders. They really can't. That goes out. How far back did that go, Brother Rich? You know what I mean? But Belichick done had his moments with the NFL, man. Even though Kraft is the owner and the Patriots and so on and so forth. I don't know if at times Belichick is just a malcontent. That's what made me ask. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
I don't see Belichick being the Rosa Parks of the NFL.
Okay.
Why do they got a union?
That's a good question, TJ.
Because they're up against a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate of owners who can at any time fire them at will, and so they had to protect themselves.
Who is the president of their coaches union?
It didn't say. What I looked at, it didn't say. Or maybe I overlooked it. I'm not sure, but I didn't see it.
I don't see how they got a union. Why they got one either?
Well, you know, look what we're just pointing out. The erroneous reasons that they get let go. Right. You know, and so I mean that it makes perfect sense.
They obviously have no power. Like you got these defensive coordinators and stuff like that who want head coaching jobs. They can't go to the union and say, "Hey, listen, y'all got to push for them to give us a job." It ain't
that's a good point.
But by that argument, the NFL players don't need a union. They have a terrible representation. They have absolutely no representation, considering what they should be able to get from the fact that they themselves are the product. You see? They lose every negotiating table.
Well, listen,
they got representation only in namesake.
Right.
Yeah. The only way they get any type of power is like Condoleezza Rice and whoever she be representing for the colleges get involved. That's the only way they'll get some type of power, man.
Hey, and it may be an association. I may have that wrong, but it's something to that, either a union, or association or a union. To me,
NFL Coaches Association.
Association, yeah, okay, my bad. But it's still one and the same thing. You know what I mean?
Fights for their rights, yeah.
Yeah. So so let me go around the room again, and I'll ask this question in regards to all of that. But let me back up a minute. The thing with Hugh Jackson and the tanking and the whole nine, there have been a few Browns players. Robert Griffith was one. McCourty was another one that talked about their time here in Cleveland when all of that was going on. And like I said earlier, I think to some degree Hugh has since kind of backed off his comments, based on what Haslam and them came out and said or whatever.
Paraphrased.
Yeah, but exactly. But I'm there's something here. Okay, and again, the NFL can't get out from up under. So let me ask this.
Man, Hugh Jackson sucked.
okay, TJ, that's
I don't care what he talk. I don't care about nothing he say. Oh, I stand with him. You ain't staying with yourself, so I don't want to hear you. Now, Double J, that's one person you could be like, well, where was he? Why he ain't speak? Yeah, him, not Flores.
Well, but no. But listen to what all he emphasized would actually and shouldn't make sense to Cleveland fans based on the performance.
Yeah, 131-1.
No. But he got paid off of having the things that do not work are necessarily correlate to winning. And so, unfortunately,
yeah, like throwing a pass from your 1 yard line, your end zone behind you, a flea flick or whatever it was, a screen pass, whatever it was.
No. Having the youngest team, value of draft
that baseball guy we hired. That's all a part of that.
Sashi Brown, you talking about the analytics guy?
Man, who wanted to get all the draft picks?
Oh, D. Podesta or Sashi Brown or Andrew Berry? Which one are you talking about?
No, what Andrew Berry just got here. He was the latest guy. He reaped the benefits of it.
So it was Sashi Brown then.
Yeah.
Sashi Brown. Okay, so let me ask this question then. Because there's a lot of chatter, obviously, on the social media sites saying that everybody goes to the racism deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people saying it's not racism. It's not even tokenism. So if racism and tokenism is non-existent, then what is and why the need for a Rooney Rule in the first place, Bro Rich?
I don't entertain stupidity, brother. This is America. Everything is about racism. I'm not going to let anybody tell me that the NFL is not racist. When you got the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, your team, your owner.
Oh, Brother Rich. No. I'm about to mute your mic.
Calm down, man.
Hold on. What? Why you gonna put in my team?
Team?
Yeah, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bengals.
The NFL is racist.
Oh my God,
racist. By any measure of bar you put up, the NFL, them owners in the NFL probably got Ku Klux Klan outfits at their in their safe.
Oh my goodness.
No, hang on. I will say this though.
Tell them how you really feel, Brother Rich.
Something I went upon myself once to try to identify how to get involved in coaching for U.S. soccer, and then they went and they changed it, and they made it very difficult if you are an active player, just because of the amount of time that was necessary.
Yeah.
And then B, if even if you're just a working professional. So where I'm going with this, on top of the Rooney Rule, where is the additional coaching education coming from at both the grassroots level, right? We said 70% of those that are on the field.
Good question.
And you're telling me that there is not 32 of roughly thousands of players that were even eligible to be in the conversation, just even under the Rooney Rule.
Right.
Because again, you were seeing a lot of the same faces, the same individuals being interviewed by multiple teams.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that there were really under 10 that are even remotely qualified. So
but that's why I'm calling it the token rule.
Well, no.
That's why I call it that, because it
reminds me why I'm trying to explain. If you really
reminds me of affirmative action. It reminds me of affirmative action. They say we have a quota. You know what I'm saying? Our law, the law says now that we got to have 2 folks of color on the roster.
But Tomlinson is that exception right now. They're like, well, we got one, so they don't really care about others. We got that one. Like
exactly.
But this is my point here. What has been done? You're talking about there's a potential coaches union and all this stuff. Where is that happening? Where it says, hey, here's this pathway that we're going to create by allowing in educating and creating X amount of just minority head coaches, right? They love to capitalize on the good PR of having the success of the Katie Gerald's, I believe was her name, from San Francisco, the young lady.
The coach.
And then of course when Tony Dungy, won the Super Bowl. But what they aren't doing, unfortunately, is saying for, hey, those hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of former players that would like to remain in the game, here's how we're going to create a way for you to enter the coaching realms consistently. Because again, this isn't just limited to the NFL. This is throughout all of the different layers of both of football as a whole, both in college and at the high school level.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. That it's called the American Football Coaches Association. They place coaches on all levels. That's why it's like that across the board.
Gotcha.
And Craig Bowl is the president of the coaching association. So they're responsible for everything, college, NFL. That's them.
It's really they paying lip service to the whole deal. And let me throw something in here right quick. Then we come back to you, Doc. I keep telling people, you all see this book, The League.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah,
There you
The
go.
League.
Talking about he read.
How 5 rivals created the NFL and launched the sports empire. Let me say this.
Yeah.
And this is why I was going back and
Car
forth with people on
dealership.
Facebook about why stop trying to act like it's not racism and so on and so forth. One reviewer said this is a rich history of the rise of the National Football League from its virtual obscurity at its genesis in the 1920s to its position as an economic and cultural powerhouse today. Listen what I'm trying to tell you. This book speaks in detail about the Mara family, of the Washington, whatever the Commanders now is. Whoa, what happened
Show
there?
the book. Show the book.
Whoa. What happened?
What's your vote, man? You didn't learn the new
Can't
button.
see the book.
No,
You
I
want me
didn't.
to show the book?
Okay, we'll do it again, Double J. Whatever you did. Oh my gosh. Yeah, The League. My bad. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, The League. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Can you bring me back now? I mean,
Double
thank you.
J,
very
every
much.
time, hey, Double J, every
I
time
wasn't-
I speak, I need to see that from now on, man.
No,
Appreciate
Double
it.
J.
Okay.
See, Double J. Listen.
Give
this
you
is
a
why-
moment in the sun.
This is exactly why.
No, this only when I ask for it.
This is exactly. This is exactly why. Don't give TJ no buttons. Okay, he got enough buttons at the job. But I'm saying some of your most storied franchises, the Bears, Washington, the Packers, you know, them teams, it's the George Marshall, the Wellington Mara, it go all the way back to the 1920s. You all, hey, if you ain't read the book, you need to read the book, and it'll help put what's going on right now in its proper perspective, is what I'm
Yes,
trying
sir.
to tell you. This is deep rooted.
If
is
you
what
want
I'm
to talk
saying
about
to
a franchise
We
that has
would
done
never
the
include
absolute bare minimum and
Double J,
really,
hold that
they
thought.
should be
We're gonna
excluded.
take a
Okay.
30-second timeout. Don't y'all touch that dial. We'll be back in the short.
It's Kerry Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report.
Touch that dial. Stay tuned.
Do it.
Hey, Barbershop J, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, we back. All right, yes, sir. We back. Yes, indeed. Double J, go ahead, finish your thought. Then TJ, we're gonna come to you.
Just really quickly on this, the New York Giants as a franchise have had, I believe, 20 some odd coaches in their history, and they've interviewed the least amount of where, to the point where it is so blatantly obvious that they have no interest. They should almost exclude themselves and pay a fine rather than waste someone's time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In this respect. And so again, what I would personally prefer to see is, if you're going to go that route, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel, right? So let them pay into that, pay into creating that avenue. What Doc was saying, if that type of league or coaching system exists, then pay into that and help create opportunities for other individuals. And let's turn it into a positive in that respect. But again, where's the ownership level, right? I personally, I don't care about who's coaching the team. I would love to see more diversity in ownership and in the front office. That's where differences and changes are actually felt. So again, a coach is great. Just based off the statistics alone, it's an atrocity that it's not the case already. But let's get people in the front office. There's more than enough qualified individuals out there, and certainly let's get some more diverse groups. In the league. Because again, I'm going to say this: if NASCAR has it before the NFL, that's a problem.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yes. And let me go ahead.
Before you go,
You gonna let me lead up to it, or what you gonna do? Look at he's sitting forward, y'all. He ready to roll. He ain't got no yak in the back, no none of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay, go ahead. Oh my gosh. Anyway, go ahead, man.
You want your moment, TJ?
Yeah.
two things to piggyback off what Double J was just saying.
Oops.
Now that's the wrong person. That's Uncle Ruckus.
Oh, wait a minute. What?
There we go. Listen,
Oh,
so
wow.
two things. The coaches, I feel like ownership and Goodell, they want us to probably fight over this small little feat right here with coaches. So we won't worry about ownership, just like Double J was saying. But only way we gonna get changed, you could zoom back out. I'm good now. But only way we gonna
zoom
get
back
changed,
out. Yeah. Don't mess with that feature. Yeah. Because I saw a picture in the background. I'm not happy about that. Yeah,
oh, you say Big Brian? I'm gonna move it up.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, don't.
But
move
listen,
it.
like I was saying
move
last
it
week,
outside and put it in the snow. But go ahead. My bad. Finish.
quit hating, man. I'm about to bring it up here. Like, it's gonna be the whole background. Don't let me do the green screen no more.
I apologize. I don't want no smoked cookies or whatever they call it. I'm cool. No, go ahead. Finish.
Like I was saying last week, when you got, even if you had a white billionaire owner or any type of owner, I think it should be a board, a committee or something who does stuff in the best interest of each franchise. So the owner can't mess up nothing really. It's gonna be a board of people who make these decisions, like in Green Bay. So they need to do something like that with the franchise.
Yeah,
that's
because
the only way you're gonna get changed.
The Packers are the only team in the NFL. Mike Johnson, shout out to Mike Johnson weighing in. What he do, Mike? Mike J. The Packers are the only franchise in the NFL owned by the fans, right? Ticket holders and things of that nature, or whatever it is. Yeah, they need to definitely probably do more of that. But
that's why the Packers are good every year.
Yeah, exactly. Shareholders, yeah. But I mean, come on, man. We talking about NFL. I was just talking to a young dude today about. He said, "Man, you think the players, when you come to money, you think the players really got a lot of money?" I said, "Man, not compared to the owners, millionaires. Them dudes is billionaires, for real billionaires." Brother Rich had said it years ago in the shop, and he keeps saying it. You can't get away from not continuing to say it. Almost, unfortunately, regurgitatively, I guess. What's just in?
Lovie Smith, he becoming a favorite for the Texas head coaching job.
Well, shout out to that.
Hang on a second.
That's the deal. That's the deal.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Yeah, here's a crumb. Here's a crumb to shut
on?
you guys up. That's the point. And this is why I said, if you want real change, go above it, not the coaching level. Go to the general manager role. Where's the guys like Rob London, who have more academic accolades than one could ever imagine, and has been involved in the NFL for 20 plus years? Where are the other individuals that are more than capable? I mean, to run these teams.
So wait a minute. So are you suggesting?
But
okay, let's
be honest. Is the Texans a good job right now?
No.
Does anybody want to? If they could give it to me, and I would say no, I hard pass. Why? Because I want to be employed greater than 24 months. Come on, man. Don't do that. I'll take it. Lovey's a good dude.
They hire him, give him a shot, and say, well, at least we gave him a shot. And then it's like, okay,
I was just getting ready to say,
it's like we gave him a shot. Like Joey said, we got to give him something. You got to give him something.
Placating. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's all that is.
I'm tired of this pandering garbage.
But guess what though? But I'm Double J. That's an excellent point. I'm with you on that. But the other side of the coin is, hey, if we got to see all the other regurgitated, Tanny Hills, and I'm not here a quarterback, but I'm just saying all the other coaches we've seen 1,000 times before. Yeah, I might as well see Lovey 1,000 times more.
But this is why I'm telling you, you're not seeing that right now. Look at the flavor of the week. Look at the flavor of the week.
It's Roger Goodell, man. That's on a puppet string, bro. That's them pulling strings. Like,
hey, listen. That's what I just said about owners. Brother Rich has said for the longest. Mr. Jose Albert weighing in again. Art Shell provides that he deserved to run a team. Proves. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. Okay. But when it comes to the billionaire thing, NFL and NBA teams, that's toys to them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? These guys own these teams or whatever it is. They sit on these jobs. They be like, man. They talk about going to buy NFL professional franchises like we could talk about going to Walmart because they rolling back some of the prices. Why does Josh McDaniels get another shot? Yeah, I'm with you on that
too. Now, Mr. Double J, here's the challenge to your assertion.
But nothing after he was fired. Yeah, Mr. Albert, absolutely.
Here's the challenge to your assertion, Double J. The issue with your assertion about fighting for ownership is you're dealing with people. These are the same owners who, as a collective, would have to agree to bring in another owner. This is the way the NFL is run. Understand what we're dealing with. You understand it better than most. So understanding that these are the same owners that will not hire a black coach, much less allow a black owner to get into management. There have been discussions about groups of black men and women trying to acquire teams in NFL. Each and every time when they had the money, when they could afford it, they were turned away each and every time. In the NBA, which professes to be the liberal bastion of they believe Black Lives Matter and they're woke, there's only one black owner, one owner. When a great player for the Minneapolis franchise was trying to buy the team, Kevin Garnett, rather than sell it to them, they sold it to another group. There are players all the time trying to get into the ownership ranks. This is not something that they don't want to do, but they're kept out by the good old boys network that won't even, that they see black men and players as just drive my car, be my security, run the football. I'll close on this to Barbershop J. How come the greatest Cowboy fan today living is probably Michael Irvin? How come you don't got time for that?
I'm not answering that. I'm not answering.
You wouldn't. You should know. You'd answer for your team.
I don't know what you say.
How come Michael Irvin is not working for the Cowboys? And he's the greatest. He's the number one Cowboy fan on earth after Double J. I'm Barbershop J.
Oh yeah.
Nobody got time for that.
You just want buttons, don't you? Do you want all of the buttons? Because I will give you all of the buttons, man. Stop saying that. Go ahead, TJ. You want to answer that? Oh, well, yeah. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead.
I was gonna throw in right quick. Was Ozzie Newsome the first African American GM?
Absolute facts.
Wow.
And look how good. Look
what he did. He was legendary.
Yeah, exactly. Look what he did. Where's his coaching tree? Why aren't we trying to get a Ozzie Newsome's in the league in general manager position?
Yeah. Because I don't think that he was a GM in Baltimore, and he didn't train somebody, or somebody didn't sit underneath him. You know what I mean? Or like, hey, I mean, come on, man. He had to have a wingman or something, or whatever you want to call it. He had to have something. But go ahead. What were you gonna say, TJ?
I wasn't saying anything, Grandpa. I was just listening.
Oh, hell no.
Y'all turning this into a circus. Man, nobody got time for that. Nobody wants no poop. Anywho, yeah, but the folks, of course, on social media, and I know social media is what it is. It's again, the circus. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just the thought process for some, the cognitive dissonance and the selective perception, man. It's just you're just narrow-minded. How do you not see that there's an issue here? You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead, Doc.
When you diversify, that's when you run into problems. When you diversify, that means I have to share this with these black people, but now I don't. I'm not going to give up you got to do what I say or you out. And now I have to talk to you about what's going on. That don't matter. They don't want to give up that power. They don't want to diversify, because now when something goes wrong with this black player, now I got to hear you all in my ear about what we should do to change that, when I could just say, hey, this is going to happen, or that's going to be that. And I think that's why we have what we have, because it's like when we start sharing with them, now we're sharing their problems. They come with bags. We got all our own bags right here that we can choose to ignore. Now, do we want to add their baggage to our baggage? Now we just got an influx of things we don't want, or can we keep it the same cool, smooth way and continue to brush things under the rug?
Yeah. So, Brother Rich, that's an excellent point, Doc. Good looking out. So, Brother Rich, to his point, is that the capitalism versus greedy capitalism that you always talked about in the shop? You said there's nothing wrong with capitalism, but it's the greedy capitalism.
Yes.
Okay.
But here again, I don't. When it comes to the NFL, I want to be explicit on this. My issue with the NFL is not capitalism as much as it's racism. These are definitely capitalists, but they were capitalists before they became NFL owners. These were greedy capitalists before they became NFL owners. And as you indicated to us and showed us before, these are toys to them. But here's what comes into play. It is their orientation of mind. It is their social stratosphere that allows them to believe they're an exclusive group of good old boys, and they get to make decisions for people. And these little players, they're nothing. They let their sons and their daughters make the draft picks, and these are toys.
Yeah.
Go up to the podium and tell them we drafted this. Go on up there, and they get to have that in their memory bank, that they just traded human beings and drafted human beings like toys, pretty much, like they're in the machine game.
High-paid slaves.
This is all they are. These are high-paid slaves. And I don't want to get away from that at any point in time when we are dealing with the NFL, which has, we're not talking about a organization that has a good history. We have to take their history. Malcolm
into account. Exactly.
History into account, or else we lose if we don't pay attention to history.
Let me get to some of these comments right quick. Mr. Mike, one time, Mr. Mike Johnson, he says, pretty sad, man. This little regime fading away, though. The agreed is ridiculous. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Alva, Robert F. Smith is top investor for Black Americans. He's as rich as those owners. He needs to start a fund to buy a team with the other top Black players. Robert Smith that played for Ohio State? That's the only Robert Smith I'm familiar with.
No. The richest.
Yeah. And Mike says, like a Black Friday. Absolutely. Yep, shout out.
But here's part of the problem, though, as Brother Rich pointed out, that it's almost like Black Friday, like Black Wall Street. The problem is the people that are doing the hiring, as Bro Rich alluded to earlier, are the ones that they play golf with. The ones that
I'm telling you, they all in it together. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is why I'm alluding to, if you go and look at the current coaching staff across the league right now, you're going to find that the overwhelming majority came from two teams, Washington and San Francisco. That's it. That tells you everything you need to know. Why is that?
Who don't go against the grain? You don't go against the grain, you fit. You ruffle feathers, you out the door. That's just how it's always been. That's what's easy, and that's how it's going to continue to go until more people start to step up and say something.
Well, like I said earlier, the NFL, they can't get out from up under this one. And I tell you what, we will continue to bring this to you as the story continues. But we got to keep moving things right along here. One more comment. Oh, okay. He showed it already. My bad. Mike, Mr. Johnson, one more time. He said, yeah, facts, Double J. Oh boy, don't be careful with the credit on here. My God. All right, up next, there is a group, a sports debate group I'm a part of on Facebook. It's called the University of Sports Debate. Shout out to the University of Sports Debate. We did this once before.
Are they all Cowboys fans as well?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
See,
you be so sorry, man.
This is what? Man, please, man, the dog barks at the moon, but the moon shows no indication of being disturbed. You can't even phase me. I survived Shawshank. Man, don't get it twisted, baby. This don't phase me. Hey, when we get done here, man, I go crack a ice cold brisk tea.
TJ, where do you think he got that one from? Martin?
Nah, that one.
Really, Double J? That's what we doing here?
Okay, so I couldn't believe that one.
So in other words, you and TJ.
My buddy,
Yeah, that's what we got here. Yeah, absolutely. We did this when we were on Spreaker doing the audio version of the podcast. Excuse me. They put together a list of outlandish takes from some of the group's members. Mikael Arnold and Brandon Taylor are the Mike weighing in again. He's saying laughing. Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. They put together a list of outlandish takes. Mikael Arnold and Brandon Taylor are the two of the admins that I'm familiar with. And there's a few other guys in the group. And it's a pretty good group. But they put together these outlandish takes, right? And it's called the Hall of Shame. So I'm going to go through the list. And we're going to do two parts because there's so many of them, believe it or not. I broke it up into parts. So this is part one of the Hall of Shame, okay, or Uno. Check this out. Now, let me get through all of them because there's quite a few here, right? Before you all, and if you all want to weigh in as I'm doing them, that's fine. But you just make maybe a 1-word, 2-word comment. Someone said, excuse me, Michael Gallup is better than Larry Fitzgerald. Okay, hold on. It gets, yeah, exactly, yeah.
You're right, Doc.
Huh?
Almost choked.
Yeah, Reggie Jackson is as dominant as Shaq. Yeah, hold on.
Reggie Jackson?
Yeah. Yes,
bro.
Look, Mike said
Bobby
what?
Schmurder.
Yeah,
Bobby Schmurder.
I'm with you,
What
Mike.
Reggie Jackson are they talking about?
The Clippers?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all the Hall of
not
Shame.
Mr. October, even Mr. October.
They were smoking something about a week ago when they put that.
Yeah,
Ain't no way.
They said that Bron purposely lost the championship in 2011.
The Mavericks, that one?
Yes. Yeah, they said Bron purposely lost that chip.
So he purposely let that young boy give him 30.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, he purposely lost to JJ Barea. I'm surprised somebody's speaker. I'm surprised his.
Right. I mean, we have the inside.
Hey, listen, you know what they said? You argue with a fool from they can't see who was who from far.
Okay, so now wait a minute. Okay, Mr. Guerrero says Lakers will be a way better team with Reggie. Playoff Reggie. Hey.
Reggie
Jackson.
Okay, I don't know, man.
And if not Reggie, definitely Buddy Hield or DeMar DeRozan. They want to go
I'll
there.
take Buddy
TJ,
Hield
who'd you steal that
DeRozan.
from?
Yeah.
Who'd you steal that from, TJ?
I tell you who I did steal it from.
Let me and we continue. Somebody said Kareem, Magic, Hakeem, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, and Moses Malone were taxi drivers. Mike. I'm with you, Mike. Mike say he's screaming over there.
No, Barbershop. Are these really people? These are real people, y'all on the
They're your real friends, huh?
They not hold up. Who said
Wait,
anything
you
about
shouted out
Messi?
this group, and that's where that's being said?
Listen,
and you in that group? Now I know you a Dallas Cowboy.
Was they born in like 2010?
Double J, don't help TJ.
These are not sports knowledgeable people out there.
They was just born in the 2010s. Their first goal was LeBron.
Thank you. Not every, but believe me, the same people that I'm telling you about that I've mentioned to you and a few other ones. When these people come on here that say this stuff, they get all over them. So believe me when I tell you, it's some solid cats.
You told us it was a handicap group, and they get off on the small bus and they go bounce their head around in the playground, and they come up with.
Hey, them his friends. Them his friends now lay off. Yo.
Oh no!
You should have told us.
Somebody said this. I'm bringing this to you. I'm trying to help y'all out. Somebody said, he said, I kick him out of the Cowboys fan clubs. He believes this. No, Mr. Alva. No, absolutely not. Oh, you know what, Mr. Alva? I was on
everybody know you're a Cowboys fan, man.
Alva.
You got to send him a jersey.
You getting a button. You getting a button.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, you getting a button. They said that Steve Nash was better than Magic.
The soccer player?
Hey, now you started this day talking about us insulting you about a particular
now
comment.
You insulted us.
Now you're insulting us.
The only thing he did better than Magic was shoot. That's it.
Okay, but listen, hold on. I got a few more here. Hold on, let me get through this.
Hold on. Don't read nothing because they ready.
Hold on. Let me get through this. Let me get through this, please. And then hold your thought.
Why y'all making no faces?
Because what you just say?
Yeah. I said only thing he did better than Magic was shoot. That's it.
Okay, listen. And they're making them faces because now you sound like a Dallas Cowboys fan.
You said Magic Johnson shot is better than Steve Nash?
I didn't say. I said you sound like a Dallas Cowboys fan.
I would say so.
I'm saying I trust Magic Johnson with the ball any day of any week of any year, any time of any century with the ball over Steve Nash. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm taking over Steve Nash any day.
Y'all said what?
They said we're taking Magic Johnson over Steve Nash in any condition, any circumstance.
Put that California Rocks down, bro.
Hey, listen. I'm with you on that, but I said what I said.
You can't be with us on that if you said what you said.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all saying Magic Johnson's shot was better than Steve Nash?
We saying we take Magic Johnson at any time.
Magic Johnson over Steve Nash.
You better go ahead. I'm not about to argue with y'all. Go ahead, man. Go to the next one. Go to the next one, man.
Yeah, it's people that got to eat dinner. Hey.
No, I'm not coming back to that.
I ain't say we coming back to nothing. Write it down, and we'll add it to the. Oh yeah, no, we gonna definitely rediscuss that. You ain't gonna throw nothing out here.
Y'all love them.
We got to. There's no way,
y'all gotta be wrong.
Oh man,
DeAndre Jordan is more skilled than Moses Malone.
Stop it.
Stop this, man. Stop it.
DeAndre Jordan can get rebounds.
Mr. Alva says Steve Nash was versus John Stockton's a better match. Okay.
Yeah, that's a better match.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Them two together.
They said speaking of Stockton, somebody said John Wall is better than Stockton.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Nonsense.
TJ, you're quiet over there.
I'm not about to get into this stuff with y'all no more.
You know, he was probably the one
I
posting
know
in
you
comments
can't
too.
because you don't know basketball.
Yeah.
You started following basketball in 2011.
I know that Steve Nash got a higher percentage shooting that ball.
That's my point. You don't know basketball. You know what.
Here we go about
He
hey,
knows
listen,
on paper.
hey, listen. I tell you what. When it
Was
came
Magic
to
Johnson 50, 40, 90? Excuse me. I just want to ask. I gotta ask.
No, we don't.
I don't know, but
y'all
I
know
tell you
what 50, 40, 90 is, so I can break it down if y'all don't.
We don't deal with Magic Johnson.
Hey, but he was the youngest player, the one at 22 to won 2
That's what we deal
MVPs
with.
or whatever the case.
That
was.
was my argument.
In other
I
words,
said Nash shoot better than him. Y'all trying to say I said he's a better player. I never
No,
said
that's not what we're saying. We ain't saying that's what you said.
Okay,
but is that rationale?
What we're telling you is we don't care about him shooting better. We're telling you that we want Magic Johnson with the ball. In
regardless.
Exactly. Any of any year, of any era. That's what
I agree.
And guess what?
I agree, but I still said what I said.
Okay, that's fine.
Here's the thing: that 03 Mavs team, Michael Finley, Steve Nash, Dirk, they should have did something then.
Yeah, but so should that Mavericks team with Roy Tarpley and Mark Aguirre and them too. They should have did something too.
There was a lot of infighting then, though.
I don't know, but that team was nice. Yeah. Mike, what we're doing here is with this era of b-ball, anyone of them could average 50. I'm with you. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. What we're doing here. This is the outlandish takes from a sports.
I don't like those takes like that.
We know you don't.
Well, can I finish the takes, please? Thank you very
much.
much.
You talking about them fan club, your buddies. You trying to get them some shine. Dude, this
you got a buddy on the program.
Oh boy, just said some crazy stuff. Anybody can average 50? Come on, man.
Okay. No,
you don't like that because
they good.
Your people can't average 50.
You don't think Magic Johnson can come into a league right now and average 50?
Question.
Magic Johnson will eat this league up.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Go right
okay.
ahead.
Kevin Durant, right? Mm-hmm. He the most efficient scorer we've seen?
No.
I like
so
Curry.
No,
I don't. Man, that's tough. That's tough.
It's tough. His shooting percentage is higher than anybody you named, bro.
Listen, you keep. Here we go with percentages. You cannot weigh a whole argument on a slice of pie. That's percentages are not the end all be all to gauging what a player is or ain't. Listen, let me say this to you. In Rex Ryan said this.
81. What was his shooting percentage?
Hold on, brother Rich. Hold on.
Thank you.
You cannot measure things like momentum.
Absolutely.
In certain games, like momentum, I'm taking Magic over Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say this. Steve Nash himself said that Magic Johnson is the best point guard of all time.
Listen, I'm not knocking the numbers.
Hey, Double J, man. I think you're the only one with some sense sometimes on this panel, man.
Hey, well, guess what? If the world comprehended on the same level, all sense would be common. So it ain't common sense. So go ahead. What was you saying? Okay.
Where you steal that from?
I ain't stealing from nowhere.
Said he froze him with that one.
I just want to know where he stole that.
If the world comprehended on the same level, all sense would be common. I borrowed it.
Who, from Dr. Seuss? I don't know.
Whatever the case may be.
Let's go on, man. I'm not about to argue.
Let me go on. Yeah, let me go on. Yeah, I bet the bad.
I'm not going to take the bait. I'm not going to take it.
Hold on.
I will.
TJ,
there we go. Read that. Read that right there.
Okay, KD's the great. Hold on, KD's the greatest scorer based on what?
Right.
His efficiency.
Man, listen.
I'll take prime Kobe over prime KD.
Thank you.
But y'all missing skew. Y'all missing something.
Prime KD.
Prime
Jordan over prime KD.
Is scoring. We didn't say he was better than Kobe.
Just so we can
be more efficient, that don't mean you better.
But I'm saying prime Kobe, I feel like is more efficient than KD.
How are you more efficient at something but not better than?
Because it's two different sides of basketball. You should know that. It's defense and it's offense. And it's leadership. It's different intangibles. So just because you can score good.
Did you hear what you just said?
Let me explain, man.
Please
just because you can score good, that don't mean you're a good leader. It's always been questions around KD that he can't lead a team.
What does efficiency have to do with that, though?
We talking about the overall player. We're talking about the overall player. It ain't just about scoring and offense. It's a whole player.
So if you're talking about on both ends, then give me the guy who can stop the lockdown. The other can get the other guy, keep the other guy from getting his averages, and he can get
Give
his
me Kobe.
averages and beyond
That's
that.
what I'm saying. All
That's
I said was
efficiency.
his scoring. That's what I said, bro.
Listen, I'm taking Kobe all day.
Me too.
Over KD. So KD ain't the greatest scorer ever then. You got
Man, what are y'all talking about?
Okay, so
bro?
Mike saying efficiency, Kawhi Leonard.
I said KD is the most efficient scorer.
Based on what? Because he averaged 30, 30, 30, 30, and 30 and 30. That's a 30 for 30 for ESPN. Man, I'm so tired of hearing that. Anytime we have a discussion or debate about players, the first thing everybody wants to talk about is whether or not if a player is 6'9" and what his averages are. That's it? That's all it makes a player?
So you want a player who averaged nothing and
hey, I don't give
my height.
Hey, listen. You can average 40. You don't watch basketball.
He's trying to move the goalposts. Everybody knows
I'm not moving no goalposts. What I'm telling you is for all this efficiency that you got in the game today, the games are uncompelling.
I mean,
you
you don't
can't
need
sit
numbers
through
to
a
be the
whole
man. Look at
NBA
Dennis
game right
Rodman.
now with all this efficiency that you claim you got going on. But I'll tell you this, I'll take a guy who had 8 points in the game, but them 8 points came at the end when it came time to win the game over a guy who had 45 in the game and you didn't even know he was in the game. Now tell me you ain't seen them kind of games.
Oh, I've never seen that. Somebody get 45 and I ain't know they was in the game. I never seen that before.
If you ain't never seen it, I can understand that. Where's Allen Iverson at in scoring and all of that? That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. When you put the tape on Allen Iverson, you don't care what his efficiency is. All I know is he wasn't afraid to go in there amongst them trees.
Nope.
He ain't stay out. He wasn't camped out on the perimeter shooting threes.
I agree. I like AI.
Man, come on, AI. Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. Yeah, Kawhi locks down KD though, and Bryant. Yeah, he did. And matter of fact, I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm gonna throw. What about Melo? Is Melo anywhere in there?
Melo's an efficient
scorer.
Okay.
I see Melo.
Melo.
He's not the best.
Melo is the bucket.
Listen, I'm not saying he's the best.
Wait, Love Melo or Carmelo? Wait, which Melo?
No, we talking about Love Melo. We talking about
Carmelo.
Maybe at Syracuse.
Okay, I'm about to say
I'm
Carmelo.
talking about Carmelo. Man,
Okay,
Carmelo.
Yeah.
I've never understood it. I've never understood it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
You don't
gosh.
like
Okay,
Carmelo?
No, because he was defensively handicapped.
No, he wasn't no defensive player. We talking about his
No, we talking about his
I'm
offense.
talking about
down
offense.
low,
See,
Ability to score.
and he turn around and get that jumper or face you up and hit a straight bucket.
he
He had 63 points in New York. He put up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, and
He
then
ain't
here's
gonna play
another
no
guy.
defense. None.
Here's
None.
another guy. Here's another guy.
He ain't doing nothing.
Here's two other guys.
players besides Kobe is better than KD?
Who what?
He
Which
said
one
what
of the
player?
players y'all just named about them buckets is better than KD?
Hey, listen. Let me say this.
Besides
I'm
Kobe.
gonna throw two more players. I'm gonna throw two more players in
Kobe,
there.
I give you that.
What about Ray Allen?
He not better than KD.
Prime Ray Allen, man. Don't
He
sleep
ain't close
on
to
him.
KD.
What about Grant Hill before the injury?
Not close
I
to
don't think
KD.
he's better than KD either.
No, not better than KD.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm
KD.
just saying.
Hey, what about T-Mac? T-Mac,
Okay,
Orlando
T-Mac.
Prime,
T-Mac.
T-Mac. Yeah.
Or Prime
Okay.
D Rose before he got hurt. Before
You
D
can-
Absolutely.
Rose
See,
don't
that's
get
the-
hurt.
Okay,
D
what
Rose
about
is
Michael?
gonna stop
What about Michael Jordan? No, the guy who ain't never go. The guy who ain't never go to a 7 game. The guy ain't been to 7 games.
in this conversation.
He solidified. You know that bring his
okay.
name up.
When Melo was right, he was nice. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when he was
Hold
right.
on,
right,
hold
he was
on.
right.
Grant Hill, Penny.
Penny Hardaway.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Isaiah
Okay.
Thomas.
Yeah.
I would go Joe Dumars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Shout out to everybody. See what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Brandon
Boy,
Roy.
put some bucket
Okay.
jacks.
All
Put some
right.
bucket
Oh,
jacks.
okay. Can I get through the rest of these, please? These people they just passed their dinner time, man.
But
They
by
trying
the
to go
way,
eat, man.
just to end that, Magic Johnson more efficient score than Steve Nash, statistically speaking.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ah.
Got
Let
you.
the church say
No.
amen.
Okay.
In what area?
In any era.
Points
now
per
you just
game,
see- hold
and
on, you see-
just about every area, including the
Okay, but he's
playoffs.
talking about moving the
Everything but
goalposts.
the free throws.
You
He's
just
talking about
never
moving the
remember.
goalposts.
No.
See
I'm
what
talking
he
about.
You're a youngster. You don't know who Magic Johnson really is.
Listen,
You
I'm
never
talking
seen
about
him.
3-point percentage.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Come
come
on,
on,
man.
man.
There wasn't nobody
man.
shooting
Come
threes
on,
like
man.
that back
Yeah,
then.
come on,
Now is
man.
the time you need to give him that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But
Yeah, I was getting ready to. Yeah, no one could play in the 80s with tough defense when have someone play with severe sprain like Isaiah. Thank you. Okay, Penny was Kobe before Kobe. That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come
Back
on,
when
man.
he had Shaq, they were supposed to win
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, brother.
Don't get me started.
Anybody got time for that?
Come on now, that Magic team, that Orlando Magic team was
What
supposed
about
to
Michael
be
Redd? We'll go Ohio State real quick.
Yeah.
Right?
Really? Don't mention that team on this program.
Ohio
We don't do that.
State.
We don't do that. We definitely don't do that.
Michael Redd used to get buckets.
Yeah, he was a dog though. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. He was a dog.
We
Jim
were trying
Jackson
to get him
too.
in Cleveland for so
Oh, wait a minute. What about Clark Kellogg when he was with Indiana?
He was nice. He was nice. He got
See what I'm saying?
Okay, but then you got to go flying Illini. You could go Nick Anderson. You could go a few different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You could go all over the place. Okay, let me get through the rest of these. Randy Moss was a scrub.
That was the next Jerry Rice. Like,
yeah, somebody said that. They said Bird would be on the bench in the Today BA.
Well, now TJ, you've heard now TJ.
Just to be
Y'all
clear,
want me to
if
bite
Zeke
on
didn't
that?
smack
No,
his ankle in
I'm not
88, we
biting
would have
on
3 straight. Yeah, he's saying Zeke. Yeah,
But I'll be honest, man.
on
The
that.
reason I'm gonna, at the very least, no matter how you feel about Larry Bird, which
Larry Bird was a
I'm
baller.
referring to this generation, Gen Z, based on guys like Killian Hayes getting starting spots in his league. It
Man,
means
they don't
even
look
if he
at
was
that,
a plumber.
I know did Larry Bird to get a bucket.
Yep.
Larry Bird gonna always get buckets. He was a walking bucket back in the day.
But Larry Bird thought the game 3 steps ahead of most people.
Which is why in today's game he'd be 5 steps ahead of these people.
Yeah,
They don't think,
absolutely.
they just think offense. How can I score?
Just transition buckets. He would just been halfway down the floor.
Yeah.
But this era
dudes
of
don't
basketball,
run, man.
this era of basketball is basketball.
It's all about offense. Who gonna get dunked on? The alley oops, the threes. They don't nobody play defense no more. Defense is not
Yeah,
as good
okay,
as it
there
used
you
to be.
go, man. Move along,
they don't.
man.
They don't play defense the way they used to back in the day,
They
bro.
don't.
Woo-wee.
Barkley
They
is the
don't.
greatest. Barkley is the greatest power forward of all time.
You can argue that.
No, you
Man,
can't. No,
I mean,
you
the
can't.
Comedy out. No, you can't
No, you
argue.
can't.
Foolish
Can't
He ain't got
argue
no
that.
I
ring.
know people who will argue
can-
that.
I know you do because you know people that will argue about
I'm not one of them, but argue.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
he was one of the best power forwards ever. So
But
That's
Barkley
not-
was not the
not the
greatest
best.
of all
No
time.
way.
Mm-mm.
No way. Not
on
when
now.
Tim Duncan is
it's
alive.
amazing.
Right,
Listen,
Mr. Fundamental.
it's
Kevin
amazing.
McHale.
if
Don't
he
forget
had
about
Kevin
Mr.
McHale.
Fundamental.
Hold on. It's amazing if he would have just had 6 rings on. Then y'all would have said, "Yeah, he is." But
No,
since
I
he
wouldn't
don't
have said
no
that.
ring-
No,
No, we would not
I
have
wouldn't
said
have
that.
said that.
No,
he
we
ain't
would
got
not
not a
have said that.
ring.
No, we would not have said
That's
that.
what people do.
Well, now you know different than what people say about the Brown apologists say about him
No,
having
Nobody
4.
says that because Robert Ory got 7 rings. Nobody says he's the best player of all time. So don't
Thank
stop
you.
that foolishness.
So nobody would've
Michael
said
Jordan
that.
got 6, and they say he the best ever.
Well, I don't know who they are, but they
No,
ain't
we
over
don't
here.
no, that's not what they say. That's not. They don't just say that he got.
If he don't have
He
6
says,
rings, he ain't the
y'all
best
can't-
ever, is he?
That's not the reason they say he's the best ever. They say he's the best ever because he got 6 rings, went to 6 finals, won 6 MVPs, was the
No
most
game
dominant
sevens.
force of,
No game
of
sevens.
ever during
And
his era. That's
one
why.
defensive player
Hey,
and
Ruben,
one
it's
defensive
amazing-
player of the
It's
year.
amazing you say all that, but if he don't have them 6 rings,
Hey.
he ain't gonna be the greatest ever.
No,
Where
it
do
wasn't
we
Okay,
because
so
of
whoa,
the 6 rings. No.
whoa. Okay, so TJ, based on that right there, so Robert Ory then is the
That's what I'm
greatest.
saying.
He the
No,
he the
it
GOAT,
wasn't.
Robert
right?
Ory got
No,
7
no,
rings.
no,
then.
no. He only got 8. My
Yeah,
boy
that's
got
not
10,
enough.
don't he? Or 11.
Bill Russell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bill Russell.
So
He
then he
got
the
11
GOAT. Bill
rings.
Russell's the GOAT then, right?
Yep. Based on y'all. Based
No.
on y'all.
Oh,
No,
yeah, okay, yeah,
we
got
talking
you.
about accomplishments. Like
Yeah,
outside
anyway.
of those
Y'all
games.
did that.
Let's move on because he told us earlier what if we keep
Yeah,
talking
right,
about
got you.
it.
So yeah, moving right along. Mike Trout is trash.
Wow.
Yeah. Football is the only sport you can be clutch in.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, and they said,
What thing is this you're on now? It don't look good.
Stay
I
on
think they
drugs.
just trolling.
Hey, listen,
Let
it
this
make-
be an anti-drug PSA.
Yeah,
Gotta be
right.
trolling. They're going through withdrawals when they come out with this
Yeah.
stuff.
What kind
Hey,
of
it makes-
nonsense?
it makes for good show material. You
Y'all
see what
need
we're
a
doing
good-
here? My
That
gosh.
group needs
I'm
to-
not
Okay.
even responding to them.
I can't even believe
Okay.
Those
this.
people over
They-
there, they're hurting badly.
They tripping.
They said
They need
stripping.
attention. That's a cry for help.
It is.
It is. Exactly.
You gotta look into this.
Exactly.
Okay, I mean, all right, thank you. Stripping, they said, shouldn't be allowed in the NFL.
We gotta look into your
How
group.
would
I'm
the-
telling you, your group is really in trouble.
Almost
Okay,
got
all right. So, and this is please, can we? Oh, I probably shouldn't even read this one.
Cowboys. Here we go. Cowboys.
Yep.
Yogi Bear.
Oh, hell no.
Yogi Berra doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
I tell you,
real talk. There's serious issues going on with your people. They really
Barry
need
Bonds.
some warm blankets.
Sure, that's not a support group.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I heard what you said, TJ, but I'm not going to address it. That was clickbait. They said that Chad Pennington was better than Dan Marino.
Oh, man.
Give him the old hell no button on that.
Oh, but here's, oh, man, I probably really shouldn't read this one. Oh, my gosh. Julian Edelman is comparable to Jerry Rice.
Oh, my. I should have known that was coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that one Super Bowl catch.
Yeah, they get
like,
better.
Come on now, that one catch.
Cooper
Jim
Cup
Call-
this season is.
Let me ask you a question. In this group, y'all all do the cocaine together, or y'all just be here and
Or do y'all get on Zoom calls
Hey,
at the same time?
seriously, I'm South Beach or in Dallas. Where y'all do it? Where does this group meet at?
I appreciate you all making it easier for me. I'm putting an ad in the classifieds next week. All y'all getting replaced. Hey, like your boy Trump would say, you're fired. Okay, anywho, they said Jim Caldwell is just as good a coach as Belichick.
Drug support. We need to
Okay.
help y'all. Y'all got y'all.
Hey, Doc, go. Hey, go ahead. Hey, if you see it different, he was ready.
Doc, you see an opening? You see an opening? Okay.
Wait, you say he's as good a coach as Bill Belichick?
Someone in the group said that Jim Caldwell, and I like Jim Caldwell. They said he's as good as coach.
I like him. I like what he did here in Detroit, but you are out of your mind.
Hey.
I didn't say it.
I know.
Out
If
of
you
your
say
goddamn mind. You just said
come on, man. No,
You should've
come
said
on,
it.
man.
It's a family
come
program,
on now.
bro.
Come on now. Yeah, come on, man.
like,
The
way. Like I like what he did here in Detroit, but they giving him way too much credit for this. I'm sorry.
The Patriots VP of Food and Beverage has more power than Belichick.
Yeah, you on some type of comedy?
Yeah.
Sports comedy.
Yeah, got you. It makes for good.
Let me ask you a
It makes,
question. Barbershop. So do y'all throw the cocaine up in the air and everybody just sniff out
Sit like LeBron.
The LeBron thing.
Yeah, y'all do it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
so this is what we're going. So in other words,
you ever
so in
see
other
where
words,
they do the they put the weed in the like looks like a leaf blower, and then they send that tent.
Just blow it around.
It's something like that, but with the
Okay, we got another comment.
Don't put that
Okay,
on
so in
weed,
other words,
Double J, because this can't be weed. This is definitely hard drugs.
Mr.
It's
Allen,
hard drugs in this group.
the Hall of Fame players before 1970 is for any sport in America. They were founders of sports, but not true athletes. I don't know about that.
I don't know about players.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Wait a minute.
Because guys like Spencer Haywood, it's a few other ones that I can't.
I don't know nobody from the 70s.
Yeah, but from the 70s, no, man, they was, yeah, no. A lot of guys played up at the Rucker, and their names escape me right now. But no,
Hey,
I
listen,
don't know
man.
about
If you wanted some bogus takes, you just should have called me and told me to come up with 20 of them.
Yeah, because we know.
20 of them.
Well, you come up with them every day. I mean, what you? You know what I'm saying? You're talking about 20.
Your name is your title is a bogus take. So
speaking for the gang. Yeah, they said Zach LaVine is better than Steph Curry.
At what?
He can dunk better than Steph Curry. Oh, my bad. I shouldn't have said that. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
My bad.
Stop moving the goalpost, Charlie Brown. This ain't. Hey, Lucy is not here.
Both of them, brother.
They have to be.
They like that. They like that mix.
Yeah, they have
to. Make sure you step on it first.
Okay.
They said Dirk wasn't a good 3-point shooter. Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh, with the one leg.
Yeah. Hey, but you know who? You know who he watched tape of? Dirk did to do it off the one leg. You know who he watched tape of doing that, right? Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh.
Yeah, Wilt was doing that.
Wilt was tape back then.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm here for the comedy. Anyway, we get into the last few. Rings are the only thing that matter. So Jordan, Kareem, Wilt, Bron, and Bird don't make the top 10?
What?
Based off your logic, whoever said that, right?
I never agree with that.
Nobody
Yeah,
ever
nobody
ever
said
said
that.
that.
That's not the only thing that
You
matters.
you embellished,
We
if that's
said
the
those
right word here.
rings.
You
Okay,
threw
listen.
that in there.
Okay, listen.
Did
Let
nobody
me
say
ask
that?
y'all something then.
Oh,
If
here we
no
go.
rings were given out, no championships, who is the best player of all time? Give me your
Well,
top five.
Hold on.
Give me
Let
your
me
top five.
No.
No rings, no championship.
No. You can't say no
All right,
rings.
see?
Then
All right,
who
I'm
is-
done. I'm done.
No. Because here's what you did. You asked us two questions. You basically put through two things in there. You said, "Who is the best player?" Then say, "Give me your top five." Make up your mind. Make up my mind. Which one is it? You're gonna be one or the other. Because
All right,
without the ring,
give me your best player, man. Since you want to be difficult.
I'm telling you, no, I'm not being difficult. I'm gonna say the same thing that I've been saying. Because I don't listen. I'm not afraid to stand alone
All right,
on an opinion.
I don't know what he's trying to say.
No, I'm gonna tell you what I said. There's too many players I've seen with my own eyes to say that one player is better than everybody else that ever played.
Hey,
I'm not gonna say that.
Them boys who
Period.
cross you at the record, they
Period.
not
I'm not
good
gonna
as
say
them
that.
NBA players,
I'm not gonna say that.
Well,
You
I'm
can't.
gonna say this right now. If you give me Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and anybody else from that era, I'm running with that five against anybody else that you.
All right, that's
Yeah,
fair.
for sure.
That's fair.
Don't
You
say
said
go
what?
ahead,
Now?
check it.
Hold on, them people ain't in the same era.
I said, and if you give me that,
You
five,
said give him his five. He said he gave you his
my
five.
I
That's
named
his
my
five.
and I'm running with them against anybody else you bring from any era. I don't care.
You said Michael, Kobe, Kareem.
Kareem, Magic, and I'll take Isaiah to run the point.
All right. Just give me Kevin Durant,
Yeah.
LeBron, and three other scrubs, and Steph Curry and two other
You can't
scrubs.
say
We gonna take
scrub.
them.
Gonna be a blue
Shaq, throw a Shaq in there.
Yeah, give me Shaq with them.
Go right ahead.
Double J. Stop trying to help. Here we go.
My buddy.
Stop helping him. Stop helping him. Let him come up with his
Yeah,
own.
man, that Shaq
Give
ain't
me
seen
Shaq.
Let
Give
him
me
come up with
Shaq
his own. Let him
and
come up with his
Kawhi
own.
Leonard on that
bogus-
team, and we
No,
taking
let him
we
come up with
going.
his own bogus takes on his own. Don't help him out. Anyway, let me get through the rest of this. They say Bron is out of shape, and Jokic and Embiid are in just as good a shape as LeBron because they're younger.
Again, do these people throw the cocaine up in the air? Do this? Y'all slip it to a straw? Y'all take a hose and put it in a mixer and everybody drink?
What
do y'all
rules
do?
are we using though? That's Mike. You listen. Mike, I'm glad you said that. Every time somebody want to have this GOAT discussion, nobody wants to first establish what the criteria of the discussion should be. Everybody just wants to say he is this and that. Listen, that's selective perception.
I just gave you the criteria.
Listen, no, I'm not talking about what you. I'm talking about Mike. Settle down. You ain't raise your hand. See, this is what I'm talking about. Raise your hand. Mike is hitting on it. What rules? In other words, that whole comparison analysis, that's the media, sports media driving this narrative. And can't nobody have their own thought. They run the Stephen A and all the smoke, and then they come to the discussion talking about something, what he said. Man, you can't, because there's too many things. Once you start having that discussion, too many other things are going to automatically have to come into play. That's why it ain't no one player better than everybody else, but it was great players. If you want to say that, fine, I'll let you have that argument. But to say one dude was better than everybody else since 1947, then when the game started, man, I ain't trying to hear that, man. I ain't trying to hear that.
You on your own.
I ain't trying to hear that. And I ain't afraid to stand alone on an opinion.
I like having, Shaq and Wilt.
What King Ebenezer and the three boys, you know the moral of the story. If you're going to stand, stand. If you're going to sit, but do not waver. And Jay don't waver, baby.
I'm glad you the one with the buttons, because you would have never got a button.
Well, you said you told us last week you was going to get some buttons. Mike weighing in again. Any hand checking?
I
mean, like the tough defense. Hello. Thank you.
Too.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman would get in Draymond Green's head so fast. Absolutely. Thank you. What rules? That's what I'm trying to figure out, Mike. What we going to here?
And Draymond Green, who debating this?
He said Dennis Rodman.
We can run this, on a show. We can put it up get it on the 2K. Put those five against each other and just let the simulator play.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, and there's too many glitches over Wi-Fi. They said Karl Malone was fat and out of shape when he played.
They must ain't seen
that's
him
what I'm
in
saying.
I say he was out of shape at the end.
Yeah, I'm with you too, Mike. I'm saying eras.
These are not serious people.
Yeah, these people are
That's
serious.
crazy.
They
They
do gotta
said
go by
Bosch
air
was
if
a
you talk about a GOAT.
they said Bosch was a better defender than Rodman. Okay, so listen.
This is
So
funny, man. It really
okay,
is funny. This is
okay.
funny.
So wait. So tell me right now, are we not doing the part two on the next? We're not doing
No,
part two.
we ain't doing the part two. We
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
no.
We did just because
Oh,
you said
man.
no. That's what we're doing. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, we doing. And because TJ over there drinking on the yak, it's in the back. I see it. You shouldn't be drinking on the show right now.
You should have brought the movies back up again, man.
Yeah, we go with that's coming back. Settle down, man.
Them
Kaepernick
little
was.
people you hang out with, I would never talk to in life.
They said Kaepernick was better than Montana.
Wow.
Do we have to do this, man? Do we have to
Okay.
do more?
Okay, and then last one, Marcus Davenport is the next Lawrence Taylor. That's what
Man, I know
said.
y'all room be looking like. I know y'all room looking like Tony Montana's guest when y'all be having that.
Yeah, Mike said. And Mike said he said, "I bet 2K got crazy reps too. I bet it do too." Yeah, you know. And then last one, he said, "What? Yeah, that's what I said too, Mike. Yeah, to that last one. Yeah, what? All right, fellas, that was a good one. We definitely doing part two. And our last little discussional topic of the day."
I need a break after that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, you know, you want to take. Oh, we could do a commercial. You want to do another commercial? I mean, yeah, we could do that. I don't know why we need to do one, but okay, we could do that. Because Double J needs to take another time out. We would do that. We'll take another 30-second time out, and we'll be right back with the World Cup qualifiers. Don't y'all go nowhere.
Okay, Cunningham, you watching the shop report?
Touch that dial. Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Barbershop J, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Everybody feel better about that now. You know, I had that bad mojo and all that stuff.
Yeah, but Double J, did you see that though? Yeah, we gotta get with them on that. Whatever it is, that shouldn't be happening. But anyway, yeah, our World Cup standings or World Cup qualifiers. You know what I mean? We got two big soccer aficionados on the program. Right. Brother Rich and Double J, and there was one soccer story that came to me kind of late, and I didn't have time to really throw it in there, but we'll get to it at some point. But all I want to know is, right quick, more so than anything. Well, let me give you the standings so far. I'll give you the top 5 qualifiers. Canada, and I brought this up because not only because Double J and Brother Rich are soccer people, but I was watching the Canada and the USA match, and it was actually pretty engaged. It was actually pretty good. The top 5 at the time were Canada, USA, Mexico, Panama, and Costa Rica. And the question is, I don't know how many games are left now. At the time I saw it, it was 4 games left, and the top 3 qualify for the World Cup. How many games are left now? Double J? 2. Okay, 2 games left. Okay. The USA unfortunately lost to Canada 2-0 in a close one, is what I said. Now here's the deal. The one guy for USA, he missed a bicycle kick, and then the other guy missed a header or whatever the case, would have tied it or whatnot. The question I have, though, in regards to this, Double J, we'll come to you first, is USA men's soccer on the rise?
Oh yeah, this is what we would consider the golden generation. So there's a number of layers we could kind of break down. We've done this in shows past where I've explained that you've had the rise of an expansion of scouting pools and academies by way of not only MLS, but then, of course, USL. And I'll give you an example. Someone like Ricardo Pepi, who's not even 19 years old, I believe, just was sold to Augsburg for $20 million, which is an MLS record. So these European teams are coming and really poaching a lot of America's best before they've even seen a TV screen for the most part. So that's why you have, if you were to break down that starting 11, you would see not arguably maybe less than 2, again, given the day, even play in the United States. They are all overseas. This is a dream come true for many. This is something that 50 years ago you would have only hoped for When on the other hand, we were bringing teams like with the New York Cosmos as an example, who had Pele and some of the others come over on this side of the pond.
TJ, do you like soccer?
No.
I'm telling you, go to a game. Go to a game.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Yeah,
Jay, I'm trying to go to one this year, dog, but I ain't got no friends.
Yeah, we might have to all we might have to all link up. Oh, Doc, you was cracking a funny. Hey, you got to cue me in, man, so I can hit the button. We might all have to link up and go to the Columbus Crew. You know what I mean? See what's happening up there in Columbus. TJ, you going too? But still, I'm gonna ask you the question. Do you think men's soccer? I'm gonna ask you anyway. You got a lot to say on everything else. You think men's soccer is prevalent, is on the come up than it was maybe 5-10 years ago?
You talking about like in the U.S.?
No, in Costa Rica. Absolutely. Yeah, man, in the U.S., man.
No, I can't say it is. I ain't seen no change. Nobody's been talking about it around the water cooler, locker room, any situation.
Oh, wow.
That's just me. I haven't.
But I talk about it in the locker room. Oh, so y'all don't
No.
Is that what you're telling me? Y'all don't be paying me no attention? Is that what you're saying?
Nope.
Yeah, okay, got you. Doc,
you talk about football, but it ain't football.
Hey, but by the way, that was the first loss to Canada since 2019, the USA. So
talk about it again.
I mean,
what we're seeing now.
Hold on, Double J. Hold on.
I'm not going, Double J. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Do you want to then?
Just that it's not only rising here in the United States, but also in Canada. They have the Canadian Premier League. But I brought up recently that Richard Hamilton, former Piston, had bought Oaxaca in Liga MX in Mexico. However, why that's pertinent is that you're going to start seeing, we already have what's known as the CONCACAF Champions League, but we're going to likely see a transcontinental league between Major League Soccer, Liga MX in Mexico, and then of course the Canadian Premiership also, which should, Bro Rich, give us ideally that's going to be our best chance at that point of beginning the conversation of promotion relegation. But I don't believe we'll see that until at least 2035, maybe a little bit longer.
I find it, and Brother Rich, I'll let you weigh in. I find it very, very interesting how you conveniently left out the fact that Beckham and what he's doing with the Miami squad. Inter Miami is what it's called, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so you didn't mention them, huh? Oh, okay, I got you. Go ahead, Brother Rich. I'll see what we got here. We got a my buddy. That's what we got here. We got a my buddy moment. That's what it. And me, TJ, you didn't do your dance now.
I wasn't part of that buddy moment.
What
oh hell no!
Go ahead, Brother Rich.
I'm gonna be the dissenting voice here.
Oh boy!
Tell you that I still don't see, while the organizational structure is better and in place, and the pipelines are more developed to develop American talent. Yet I do not believe that until America reaches down to the real grassroots and begins to bring up those players, American soccer, U.S. soccer will not compete internationally as a global force in soccer.
Yeah, the boys in the hood
until they get the real grassroots people involved. This is the truth. They're going to have to reach a little further down and get some hardcore players and develop them all the way from the bottom and then do it. Because right now you're talking about kids who can afford to come up in these clubs.
That's right.
They can afford to go to these and play for these academy teams, and they're suburban kids. And this is why you have the Americans competing with the women's team. The U.S. women's team is dominating because they have all the money and all the equipment to develop a team here in America. And soccer for women is just developing around the rest of the globe. And so you see they're able to dominate on that level until and unless they bring up the grassroots players here, because that's what Brazil does. They bring up their grassroots. Yep. That's what Argentina does. And that's what Brazil, all of the real soccer power, Germany, and all of the great soccer.
That's why you see the difference.
In Brazil, as soon as you learn how to walk.
But wait a minute, hang on a second. Before we all poo-poo on this, I want to make sure that it's very clear that the point he's making, if you were to take sport out of if we would have taken soccer out of it, that would have applied to basketball.
Absolutely.
It would have applied to baseball.
Absolutely.
Hockey. Here's why. I'll give the example with my own kid. he's on an academy team now. That right away is $3,000 without including any kind of travel or anything else. He makes an additional
like
travel
AAU
team.
basketball.
Sounds like it was over the summer. That is going to be an additional $2,000. So you're telling me just to get the kid to have an opportunity at this is
you say take
$5,000.
a photo, huh? Just to get the kid to take a photo, it costs $12,000.
Yep, and he's gonna have his name on a website. And I hope somebody from Germany, there's a plus sign. Hey, Finland's calling. Come on over, kid. I'll be on the next flight. I already told him we could go. But that's the unfortunate side of this. Now, I will say there are scholarships where essentially for those that are in positions that they're not, capable of financing it, which again is a very tough conversation to have with a club and say, hey, look, I get it. He's made it, but I can't afford it. Right. That essentially he has to get picked up supported by the rest of the team in that respect. So those things do exist. It's just too few and far between.
It's a business. It's a cash thing, man. I don't know.
So I'll give you an example too. The academy for Columbus Crew is is in Michigan, in Livonia, and so about 10 minutes from
that's
me.
interesting. Okay.
And so their scouting pipelines are all broken. Basically, like Bro Rich's LAFC cannot come here and scout players in Michigan.
Oh, wow.
That in itself is hot garbage. However, this is where, again, NIL, why this is such a big deal, because, again, only in the United States was this a conflict. In any other country, you see they call them loser kids, getting signed for hundreds of thousands of dollars and getting the opportunity to go do both.
The USA is famous for its roadblocks.
Yep. But now that these clubs are beginning to come and buy these kids, and the club themselves who trained them and groomed them and got them all ready, got nothing for them, they're starting to change their mind, right? That's how I always said, if you want to hurt them, hurt their pockets, right? Yeah. That's what's happening.
One last question. Good stuff today, guys. Boy, we've been rolling, man. We are an hour and 30-something minutes in. Let's go and get on out of here so everybody can go ahead and finish their dinner. Dinner getting cold, the microwaves. Is indoor soccer a real thing?
No.
Nuh-uh.
Futsal. You gotta. Futsal is the closest.
I see. In other words, for you, this is of course particular for my soccer guys here. You all don't take indoor soccer seriously. Maybe I should have asked it that way. No.
I played soccer growing up, and my dad, we never indoor. It was all outdoor.
No, indoor soccer is not a thing. Huh?
Even indoor now is still your 11v11, your traditional outdoor rules. They're taking the boards out of it. That's why futsal is more, again, same concept. It's just, less players, smaller capacity. They have the Futsal World Cup. It's on right now, actually, for going on overseas right now. So
indoor is cool training-wise. Training indoor is the truth.
But that was the advantage. It was
inclement weather. That's the only advantage.
Hey, listen, I appreciate y'all talking about this sport, but it should never take over 5 minutes.
You just
man,
what?
The
number one game
leader
in the world.
Yeah.
This is the number one sport on the planet.
It ain't the number one sport in
you know what's crazy? Other countries take this sport more seriously.
Hold on. So TJ,
I'm in Cleveland. It ain't the number one sport in Cleveland.
Well, of course not. We got 88 inches of snow. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing number one sport here now. The number one sport in Cleveland right now is being able to get to your car without being a wax figure because you frozen from the ice. Come on, number one sport in Cleveland. But guess what, TJ? Because here's the deal. I find that interesting. Because I had doing my research, my little R&D moments when I be coming up with stuff for the show, I saw some stuff about chess. So if I came up with a topic about chess, you wouldn't have nothing to say about that? Or
let's go.
Is it?
Let's go.
Hold on.
Is
it? Oh yeah, no. He a chess player. He a chess player. He take a whole lot of people come in with their lunch, man, and and then next thing you know, they don't get nothing to eat. And he don't give them their food back either. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Now
eat
go
it right
over
in their face."
He said, "Go over there and do some OT." You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but if I come up with a chess topic, would it be fair for Brother Rich, Double J, and Doc to say, man, we've been talking about chess for 5 minutes. You don't want to hear about
He know how to play chess. You know how to play chess?
That's a fact, sir.
Yeah, right. Man, what? Everybody on this panel know how to play chess, man.
So why you even try to use that as a...
I'm just saying, man, chess is not really a topic. It's not a popular topic. But this is what we talk about in the barbershop.
It's not the same thing. Soccer ain't easy.
Okay, got you.
Wait till this World Cup. You will see watch parties.
We'll see
in
many watch parties.
Yes, you will.
Man, the World Cup is
yes, you
bro.
will. Yes, you will, fellas. Oh man,
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can sit through a soccer game, bro. They run up and down the field like.
Well, you can't
go to one. Go to one. That experience is unlike anything else.
You gotta be in shape to play soccer.
You can barely sit through the program. You can barely sit through the program. So I mean, Helen? Helen, you can barely sit through the program. Look at you over there fidgeting.
I can't focus.
Oh, you can't focus. Okay, we might have to get you one of them. The Brother Rich send him some blinders that y'all use for the regular mules riders. Things you put on the mule. You okay? Yeah, fellas.
But listen, I see you hyper today. You took your Metamucil, your other stuff you been taking. What's that in there?
Yeah, it ain't suppositories. I tell you that. Oh, fellas, this was a good one. All right, and on that note, it's been fun, but we got to run. We appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to check us out right here on the StreamYard Sundays at 9 on the PM side, or you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Golden Gram, Instagram, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, as well as the shop's Facebook fan page. And if you would be so kind, we'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. And if that don't work, you can Google it for my man's Be Rich, Double J, Doc, TJ, speaking for whoever he is today, and all those who follow and support us. We say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla!